Elon Musk is living a nightmare. Tesla's market is crashing.
Musk's company has also been grappling with falling sales and a price war in what is the world's largest auto market.
Starlink is getting banned.
The scientists say that the new generation of Starlink satellites, which provide fast internet around the world,
And now, the EU and Canada are turning their backs on him. His empire isn't just shaking, it's collapsing in real time. Yes, Elon Musk's nightmare has a name: global rejection. It all began with a tremor that quickly turned into an earthquake. Almost overnight, Tesla's value plummeted by a jaw-dropping $135 billion.
The index that CEOs declined well stems from the dip in Tesla stock, which was down 65% in 2022.
Investors panicked. Analysts were in shock. Wall Street turned cold. You could feel the fear ripple through the entire financial world. This wasn't just a hiccup or a bad quarter. This was a titan losing its footing in front of the world as a whole. People who once believed Tesla was untouchable now began to wonder, was this the beginning of the end? And that's when the real chaos started. Canada and the European Union, once eager buyers of Tesla's sleek electric cars and high-speed Starlink internet, decided they'd had enough. What had once been a golden relationship quickly soured.
President Trump confirmed that the tariffs announced last week against our auto industry will come in, and indeed have come into effect today.
First came the tariffs, then came the bans. Tesla was blocked from government contracts in Canada. In the EU, more and more regulators began distancing themselves from Musk's companies. And if that wasn't enough, even Starlink, his crown jewel of satellite tech, started losing ground. It was like watching dominoes fall. One market collapsed, and then the next.
We're ripping up Ontario's contract with Starlink. It's done, it's gone. We won't award contracts to people who enable and encourage economic attacks on our province and our country.
Starlink lost access in Canada's remote regions, where it once promised to revolutionize internet access. European Union nations began terminating contracts. And this wasn't just a slap on the wrist. This was a clear message. Elon Musk had become too big, too loud, and too risky. Back in the US, the economy trembled. The Dow Jones stumbled. The S&P 500 dipped sharply. It wasn't just Tesla feeling the pain. Mutual funds, retirement accounts, and small investors all took the hit. Meanwhile, cities that had built their economies around Tesla factories, places like Fremont, Austin, and Sparks, began to suffer. Layoffs quietly crept in. Housing prices dipped. Once booming towns turned eerily quiet.
And his tight association with the Trump administration, combined with a decline in the base business, that's why Tesla's been coming down so rapidly.
Inside schools, budgets got slashed. Teachers feared job cuts. And in hospitals, the buzzword became cost-saving. People who had nothing to do with electric cars were suddenly caught in the aftershock of Musk's empire cracking. Capitol Hill scrambled into emergency mode. There were hearings, endless press conferences. Lawmakers blamed each other. Some pointed fingers directly at Musk, calling him reckless. Others questioned how the U.S. allowed its economy to become so entangled with a single man's businesses and his unpredictable tweets. While Washington tried to contain the damage, the rest of the world didn't wait. China saw the opening first. They swooped in, offering their electric vehicles to the very markets that had turned away from Tesla.
Then China came along and thrust the future upon us now. It's achieved this with breakneck growth in the industry, fueled by government subsidies.
And guess what? Those countries welcomed the competition. Europe began buying up EVs from Germany, France, and even China. Canada redirected its attention to homegrown clean energy and European alternatives. It was happening fast. The global shift had begun. Elon Musk's loss was now China's and Europe's gain. And here's the irony. Musk's behavior played a huge part in this downfall. Once praised as a genius, his public image started to crumble. His tweets, once entertaining or even visionary, began scaring off investors.
Customer base in many cases. That group is becoming very put out by Elon's public behavior, his public comments, his association with the Trump administration.
Governments grew wary. Regulators whispered about risk. Even consumers began to wonder if Musk had gone too far. Suddenly, Starlink wasn't just a tech marvel, it was a geopolitical red flag. Canada pulled away. EU nations said they preferred working with companies that didn't constantly stir controversy. And Elon? He was now viewed as a liability. Tesla wasn't just losing money, it was losing trust. The US, once leading the EV revolution, found itself gasping for air. Without Tesla leading the charge, the clean energy dream began to fade.
China's biggest automaker, BYD, has reportedly sold more electric cars in Europe than Tesla for the first time. This is according to research firm Jado Dynamics.
Europe surged ahead with new battery tech and better charging networks. China locked in rare earth deals and sped up production. Meanwhile, America's EV momentum stalled. While American policymakers were still debating who to blame, other countries got to work. Brazil tightened its doors to U.S. electric vehicles and partnered with China. Chile decided to sell its valuable lithium to Europe. India announced a bold new national EV strategy and didn't mention Tesla once. Even in Africa, mineral deals shifted toward more stable, long-term partnerships that didn't involve Musk. This wasn't just rejection, it was abandonment. Suddenly, all eyes were on the White House. What would America do now? There were only bad options left. The U.S. could roll back tariffs and try to rebuild trust, something that would look politically weak. Or it could go full isolation, trying to manufacture everything at home, slow, expensive, and years behind the competition. Or, worst of all, it could start dealing with authoritarian regimes just to get the resources and partnerships needed to catch up at the cost of America's values. No matter what, it was clear. The U.S. had lost its edge. And at the center of it all stood Elon Musk. He once dreamed of saving the world with electric cars and free internet. But now, he was struggling to keep his companies alive. Tesla was bleeding cash. Starlink was losing contracts. SpaceX faced political blowback. Even Twitter, or X as he rebranded it, had turned into a financial black hole. His followers, once loyal and inspired, now questioned his decisions.
Rush hour in Cape Town. Transport's a major source of emissions, but one bus company is trying to foster change. Golden Arrow transports over 240,000 commuters daily across the city.
Investors quietly pulled out. Partners kept their distance. Countries refused to sign new deals. The man who once ruled Silicon Valley was now fighting to stay relevant. It's not just about a collapsing business. It's about what happens when a visionary goes unchecked. Elon Musk became a symbol of both ambition and arrogance, and now he's paying the price for it. And yet, the story isn't over. If you've followed Elon Musk's rise over the years, you know this is a historic moment, a turning point, one that could reshape not just the electric car market or the satellite internet race, but the entire global tech landscape. Because now the world is asking, what comes after Elon Musk? Governments, companies, and consumers are all searching for the next big thing, without the drama, the risk, or the unpredictability. And whether Musk bounces back or fades away, one thing is clear. This moment will be remembered as the day the world stopped waiting for Elon and started moving on without him. Elon Musk's nightmare isn't just a headline, it's reality. Tesla's crashing, Starlink's fading, and the world? It's walking away. Because sometimes, even a giant falls. And when it does, the silence is deafening.